Oh, wow. Hi, everybody. As you saw, I was just getting nice and centered and relaxed because in today's video, it can be a little bit combative. I guess one could argue, and I just wanted to center myself and show that it's not coming really from a place of animosity or anger, but rather of a place for just searching for the truth and maybe a little justice in the meantime, because there's lots of bad players out there in the regenerative medicine world. So we are going to dive into who to trust and who maybe not to trust out there in the world of social media and regenerative medicine forums. I'm Dr. Travis Whitney. I'm the founder of Innate Healthcare Institute. I have been practicing and researching regenerative medicine and umbilical cord MSCs for the past 7 years. So when I first started, not only kind of practicing the medicine, but also just diving into the research and everything that encompasses regenerative medicine, I was berated. I have a strong background and inclination towards Buddhism, so I'm not a very combative person anymore. I was an infantry officer in the Army. I used to box. I used to be so, just into everything, like very, very fighting and combative. And I guess I've kind of learned that I'm not, I don't really want that in my life. So I really, really held off for a good time. And just kind of let other people just say what you want to say. If you're gonna say it, you're gonna do it. So over time, I just didn't sit well with me, and I started thinking more and more about almost like a nudge towards a calling. Like I really need to do this. I feel like people out there deserve to know this stuff because they're being lied to, because they're being deceived, and because some of my education really alluded to, don't bring that kind of energy into your life. Don't be combative. Don't like that. I just came to the conclusion that this is the right path that needs to be done. So we're going to do it with very little animosity. This isn't a bunch of anger. We all make mistakes in life. We're all in the wrong. I've been in the wrong many times in my life. So with that little side note, let's dive into it. And the first one has a renowned reputation. He's very high up in a clinic called RegenX. I guess I could say he was one of the founders, still promotes it heavily, but very, very misleading information. I've had the privilege of talking to people that have worked for him. I've gotten a bunch of inside information. And so I've been a targeted victim of his. He's written articles about me, and he really spends a lot of his time targeting other people and writing blog articles and all this. Man, I really wish the best for him. But what happened was this Dr. Scott Martin, and I give credit where credit is due, did an excellent job. So I'm gonna post this video in the description because it's 40 minutes long. And he did it way better than I could ever do it. But he really dismantles Dr. Chris Centeno's misinformation and fabrication of the research and really everything he's stood for by labeling everybody else as bad. Pretty much everybody else is bad and wrong, and he is just the god for regenerative medicine. So watch this when you have time. A while back, Dr. Chris Centeno put out research that showed his company is run off of BMAC, bone marrow aspirate. And he says, his claim is that these umbilical cord tissue products, even umbilical cords, was termed as stem cells, are not good, and everybody practicing them are wrong and they're bad and blah, yada, yada. So, F in my book. You get it. Dr. Centeno has always had an F in my book, almost since the first interactions I've had with him. He's very misleading. He uses his power to belittle and try to embarrass people and spread misinformation about them. So this is an excellent video of putting him in his place and calling out how he fabricated research. And I haven't heard any rebuttal from them, which is very, very discerning. And a lot of times when people do this, they get banned from research. There's doctors that have been completely barred from ever publishing research again. So I would love to know a follow-up on what ended up happening to this. Okay, let's go to this next one. And this group, go back to this group, is Stem Cell Therapy for Autism. Preparing for this video, I noticed really recently that this group is paused as of September 12th. I don't know why. It could just be because the admin gets tired, other stuff comes up in life. I know I've ditched social media for quite a while because it just gets too taxing and stressful. So I don't know why, but this group overall was about borderline C, even I might say a B to a D grade. 9,700 members. A lot of people, come in this group for information. And the reason is they didn't really focus on a lot of bad information or misleading information, but a lot of the members were very litigious heavy. And what that means is a lot of them have deals, as you'll see in this later, in some of the following content. They have arrangements with overseas clinics, Panama Stem Cell Institute, clinics in Mexico, Costa Rica, where they get reimbursed either financially or with free, quote unquote, stem cell treatments. So they refer people going through these Facebook groups and probably other, Reddit, Instagram, who knows. So a lot of them will spread a lot of misinformation about the US. And it is a very confusing gray area. We have federal laws, and then we have state laws, and we have doctors practicing medicine under their state medical boards. And some differ as to what a different kind of a doctor, maybe a nurse practitioner versus a medical doctor versus a DO versus a naturopathic doctor, can do in different states. So it is very confusing and does add some extra layers of education that need to be done. But what groups like this were really bad about was just giving an overall blanket statement of things like stem cells in the US are illegal. Don't go to US. You can't get good stem cells here. You have to go overseas. Let me private message you. So that's why I didn't love this group. But what this group was used for, which was great. So this one is an average kind of thing. But what we first want to talk about are the Fs. And so in this group, I got kicked out of a group, and so many other people do, that had a similar name. Stem cells, what was it called? Stem Cell Therapy for Autism. So this group and the moderators, what they were renowned for doing, and I'm not labeling anybody or insisting that they did anything illegal or anything, but it's heavy opinionated. It's very, very heavy opinionated from our own patients over the years, me personally, that any talk of anything besides the Stem Cell Institute in Panama would immediately get somebody kicked out. And that's what I proposed. I said, I can't remember the name of the group. I can't find it, because when you get banned from a group, you can't go and see it. You can't even find it anymore. And so I asked. And so we can see all kinds of this long, long list. I still haven't even opened up a lot of the replies, but a bunch of us got banned, so we can't see the group. Someone dealing with the group is a nutcase. Their opinion. That's not my words. I'm reading this. She is so rude. There's actually a few of them because different people that were admins in these groups even got into arguments themselves and ended up opening other groups. So here you'll just see a lot of people chiming in on on their experience. She has issues. I got booted for asking about cell testing by third-party labs to assure quality. Really something kind of basic you should be asking before going to a clinic overseas and spending $20,000 plus. Here's the link to it. I tried to open a link and I'm unable to. Did they really ban me? She got banned. She will need to change the name of that group and title it Panama SCI Parent Group, since it's not living up to its current name, and it's very unfair for families who are new to this journey. Families need to know the existence of many other clinics. Also, with new innovation, technology, research, and discovery, other clinics may discover they all have something to offer. Some great and some not so great. Very well said by Washington Emma. So if you see this group, steer far from it. It's right up there with the other one I just reviewed, in F, worse than F. So much deception, so many lies, so much misinformation. Avoid it. Don't join it. There's so many better areas where you can get information from openly and objectively. Here's another one. I was part of this group for a long time. This was kind of like my main group when I would come in to use this. And the reason is the reason why a lot of people use Facebook groups is because it's free. It's free advertising. It's free marketing. It helps keep, for me, it helped keep a marketing budget down. Especially a lot of places that are charging thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, and they have this really high. You hear about them, you see all these social media ads, and you hear about them on podcasts and all this. Dude, that money's coming from somewhere, and it's probably that they have a very high marketing budget. And so clinics that can come in here and just post a free Facebook post or something and get patient from it, it really helps the business. So these are really popular. So I was part of it. I really ended up not needing it as far as for business. It was more of like a karmic management thing for me, where I would just try to go and help. And, I would, if it wasn't a right fit, if somebody was like, oh, I can't travel to Scottsdale, Arizona. What about somebody near blah, blah, California? I'd take some time. I'd research and be like, well, this place, is blah, 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 and here's why I think it's good or why it's not. And so this group overall, I should have said this at the beginning, overall, this is formed into like maybe a B for me, even when I was an admin and moderator in it, because there were still a lot of people openly providing misinformation, marketing for their clinic, spreading everything from lies to just confused about the stem cells in the US or stem cells overseas and what the differences were. And as a practicing physician and researcher, I felt a lot of people in this group were like, no, you're a fraud, you're a fake. So it took me a lot of years to build up some credibility. And what happened was the original person that owned this ended up selling it to somebody else that owns one of the clinics in Mexico called RegenX. And me and him and this other nice, very, very nice woman moderated this group for years. And I would help him, a lot of help. I have my Facebook Messenger full of questions of, hey, how do you treat this patient? What would you do for this condition? Blah, blah, blah. And I happily helped him. And then all of a sudden, I did something, I guess, wrong by being objective and posting a comment of Ronnie Coleman, who's very open about going and getting stem cells and regenerative medicine in Mexico, being significantly worse all of a sudden with health complications. The article I read didn't specify why. And people in these groups especially from clinics in Mexico, are notorious for spreading misinformation. They treat these MSC therapies and stuff like vitamins. Like, it's just, don't worry about anything. Just come and take it. No big deal. There's so many of them that do that. And so I kind of a smart alecky, kind of said, hey, well, look at Ronnie Coleman. He just got back from his stem cell, trip in Mexico, and now he's not doing very good. Well, I got blasted because he went to a certain clinic, and that clinic owner runs this site, and so he banned me from it. But so now it's owned by, it's pretty much owned, and you have to pay the guy that moderates it. You have to pay him to advertise your medical practice. So he wrote me and said, "Hey, I'll let you in the group, but you have to pay me monthly." I'm like, dude, I don't need this for advertising. I'm already booked out 6 months as it is. Like, I don't use these Facebook groups for marketing. It's nice, but it's not my primary source of getting patients. I'm more word of mouth in this educational YouTube channel. Again, so now it's not a good group. Now it's very one-sided. Definitely a lot. There was a lot of good people though in this group, and so I kind of lean towards a D rating for this one. But sadly, it's not as good as it once was. And then what you'll find is if you go search stem cells in the groups, you'll just find everything. You got so many different groups, benefits of stem cell therapy, the patches. So many people about the patches and everything. But so I'm not obviously going to review them all, but just the ones that I am most familiar with. This one is just kind of one of the run-of-the-mill ones. I kind of give this one a C because not anything like a bad fault or anything. It's not deceptive or bad that I remember. It's just, it wasn't anything really significant or prevalent. I didn't use this one. I never found going to it was very educational and informative. There's not a lot of heavy marketing on it, so that definitely leads it towards more of the B or A side. But then there's also not a lot of like good worth information. I got I scrolled all the way down to May 22nd before I found, has anyone received allogenic stem cells? So it's just kind of a middle of the road one for me. And then you'll find lots of ones like these. I don't even think I've ever used this one. This one has 2,000 members. Let's go back to 6.3 thousand members, 11,000 members for this. That's 11,000 members getting fed a bunch of misinformation. So these ones too, you'll just find way too many of this, just pure marketing. This nice lady, stem cell nutritional products, stem cell patches. Let's get to my first A group. This is a big group, 23.2K members. This one it's very objective. Even people that are representing other clinics, I've always really liked this group. And even if you are representing, most of the people, I think they'll get booted pretty quick if not, but they offer objective advice. Either opinions or either salespeople, or I don't see a lot of doctors posting in this one, but you do tend to get a lot more objective advice in this one than you do in some of the other groups we looked through. So yeah, this one really good. Really happy to be a part of this one. I've never had any issues or problems with it. And then I'll do a quick post for my own ones that I moderate. And to be objective, I only got 1,000 members. This is one that I own, admin and started, and I give it a B because it's really only solely about what's going on with umbilical cord. So if you want bone marrow or adipose, like this is not the site. If you want to be in this group and find out about clinics in other areas of the world, not the site. There's too many other ones to do that. I wanted this to just be solely about the people that were interested in human umbilical cord MSCs, the science, what we're doing with research and clinical applications at Innate Healthcare. So it's all pretty much what's going on at my practice. I found it mostly. You still have people comment, and I don't really get super picky about it. I try to keep it about within the U.S. Because that's what I'm a big advocate for. I'm a huge advocate of not only doing what I founded, but also keeping this this kind of medicine, in my opinion, the greatest nation in the world. So in my other A1 is this one that I founded. This is really friendly, objective, helpful evidence. This is all the autism, I guess you'd call it, patients, or potential, or going, or considering, or that are in our family, in our network already. So it's really family friendly. A lot of the parents helping other parents, answering questions, whether it's about, what we're doing, about other advice just in general for the kids. So I really do love this site, for the objectivity that it brings, and just the spirit of just trying to help these families. So these two, they're mine, but they are what they are. And so, those are just a couple of reviews. There's probably so much more on Instagram. Comment below if there is a group that you want me to kind of explore and look into. I found Reddit forums, much to my surprise. I have found that another kind of really iffy source of information. Yeah, just do your homework, do your due diligence. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if there's more videos like this you want me to do. Please subscribe to our channel. This helps us provide more educational content in the field of medicine in general, health and regenerative medicine. Again, I'm Dr. Travis Whitney, and I'll see you in the next video.